So you haven't liked the weather during the week. How'd you like it tonight?
Well, actually, it wasn't too bad. I dressed with plenty of layers, and from that standpoint, we caught a really good night. The wind wasn't too strong, and I'm really happy for the team to finish with a shutout on defense, and we finally got going a little bit in the second half offensively, but the kids hung in and played hard.
And that response, I mean, one thing that the players are saying is you bring up the old Jeremy Rice quote about, just the idea of wanting to play that perfect game. With the perfection football is, assignments, sound, and all that stuff is tough, but to see the conviction and the commitment, I imagine that's notwithstanding the fact you're not going to be playing next week.
Yeah.
It must be a good
Well,
feeling.
it's rewarding that, but how you practice is how you play, and these kids practiced hard even with nothing at stake, and they showed up for a long day on Wednesday. They went through all the reps. I mean, they were true professionals, and I'm proud of them for that.
There was some history made as well. Tasker with most catches in team history to get 3 receivers over 1,000 yards. That's the first time it's happened in Ticat history. Were you aware of any of that? Did it matter to you?
I wasn't aware of it. I didn't know that statistic, but wherever it seems I go, the receivers catch a lot of balls and the quarterback plays pretty good usually. So.
Brandon Banks had 52 yards before you got here. He finished with 1,000 plus. We've talked about Brandon's development as a quarterback or as a receiver. You've said opportunity. Is it more than that though?
I'll tell you, I just knew he was fast when I first got here, and so I always had success with fast people. And I was just blown away after 10 days of his football intelligence. He has more intelligence on the football field than I think anybody realized. He wants the ball. He's a big time player, and I'm happy that he finished this way. His confidence obviously will be real high, and it was fun to be around him.
6-4 over the 10 games, some very close losses.
Yeah.
Do you think about what might have been?
Yes, I do. I thought about it right there when I was talking to the guys. We were so close. I still think if we had just somehow got in, that we were playing as good as anybody in the league, and we would have had a shot. And the reason we would have had a shot is because we're kind of doing all phases of the game right now. And I don't know how many. I mean, these kids are so conscientious about the football on offense. I mean, we haven't had a turnover in 2 games. I think I don't in 10 games. I don't even know how many we have, but very few. And that's a credit to them.
June, it hasn't mattered who's coaching in as far as about the thing I'm about to say, which is this team gets off to 0-4, 1-5, 2-6 starts every year for the better part of 20 years. How do you, if you're back? I mean, that's what basically happened to this team. They get down 0-4 and eventually it becomes 0-8. What?
Well, I don't know. I really haven't been in that situation, so I don't really know. I think I can't remember. I'm sure I been in that situation, but I think that you just gotta come back with confidence and belief that we've got the players here that we need to turn the corner. And I think everybody is in agreement that we have some pretty good players.
Jeremiah went through a little stretch there the second half. I think he was like 9-9, 10-10, then the long 59-yard run. He really is the total package, isn't he?
Well, he's played pretty dang well these last 4 or 5 games. The first 3 he was kind of fighting through, learning, but he made the transition and was determined to learn and spent a lot of time in the office with Dan and myself, and he just kept getting better and better.
You brought in Golson at the end of this game, not Caleros. Can you sort of talk about that decision?
Yeah, I talked to Zach on the sideline, and I was going to put in the young old lineman, and I just said, Zach, I'm just going to let Everett go in because I don't want to get you beat up, and so he understood. He said, thanks, Coach. I got no problem with that.
Do you think you've done enough now to come back? I mean,
I don't know. I'm going to take some time off. Scott and I will talk, I'm sure, before I leave, and then we'll talk again in Hawaii when I get to Hawaii.
You're going to keep your Ticat gear for the meantime?
Oh, yeah. In fact, I'm going to the shop tomorrow because it closes on Sunday, I heard, so I got to get in there tomorrow and buy a bunch to take to Hawaii.
Who got the game ball?
You know what? That's, I gotta look at the film and see that, but I would say defensively, wow, probably 4 or 5 guys had real shot. I thought the secondary made some unreal plays in the secondary. Offensively, just off the top, I think our O-line played pretty good. You know, they gave up that sack the first play, but really played pretty solid throughout. So I'll just look at the film and go.
That's right.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Pete.
All right, see you guys.